Hello, I'm going to show you now how to use the AND function. The AND function is a very clever little function which allows us to ask more than one question from a set of data, and it will tell us whether it's true or false based on multiple questions. So in a previous video I talked about if. Now if allows us to ask one question and then make a decision on that question and do something if a true or a false is presented. Now with AND, this only will ever return a true or a false, but we can ask more than one part to the question to actually decide what is true and what is false. So in this example, I would use AND if I wanted to base a commission on a target for quarter 1, 2, 3 and 4 instead of just basing it on the one answer there of the total sales. Now this is how AND works. We would type into the cell where we're looking for the answer to be equals AND, open bracket. Now can you see here logical 1, and if I keep on pressing my comma, logical 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so on and so forth. Now logical 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. These are the questions or the logical tests that we are going to propose to the AND function, which it's going to, shall we say, check, and then if they're all correct, it's going to give me a correct or a thumbs up or a true. So logical 1 in this case is going to be something along the lines of, I don't know, quarter 1, we're looking for it to be more than 2,400. Now, I'm going to deliberately make these targets so that the first line, they're all correct. After that, comma, logical 2, we're looking for it to be more than 2,500, comma, logical 3. Let's say we want that to be more than 3,300, comma, logical 4, let's say we want that to be more than 3,500. Now this again will keep on going as many times as you press your comma. It will put those questions to the list, but when you're ready, just close the bracket off. Now what AND expects is every single one of those tests to come back as being true. So B7 needs to be more than 2,400, C7 needs to be more than 2,500, so on and so forth. If any one of those questions or tests comes back as being a false, AND will return the word false. So it's this and this and this need to be true. So every single thing needs to be true. If I changed, instead of having AND at the start, if I made that or, it would expect any one of them to be true. So this or this or this needs to be true. But once I'm ready, if I now press enter, you'll notice that first line is true. And if I drag this formula down, you'll see that only certain others are actually true. So even if we turned over £1 billion in the first quarter, if we don't hit our targets for quarter 2, 3 and 4, that is going to return a false. So it allows us to spread the target over more than one, figure. What I can then do if I want to is, if I wanted to, I could employ an if function with this, because if you remember, if just takes the idea of true or false and then turns it into something. Now that just means the AND function is the way of getting the true or false. So I would, if I wanted to turn the AND into, something a bit more smarter, wrap an if around it. So at the end here, I'm going to put a comma in. Can you see this is now the if function? So it's asking me for the true or false. So maybe if it's true, I'm going to put in speech marks, well done. And then after that, let's go comma for the false. And in speech marks, I will put unlucky. Okay, close the bracket off. Now, if I press enter, in this case, because this line is true, it's going to say well done. But if I now drag this down, can you see anywhere we're not hitting the targets all the way across the board? It says unlucky. If we are hitting the targets, it says well done. So on its own, all the AND does is return a true or a false. But if we wanted to, we could wrap around that the idea of an if to get it to turn that true or false into something that's a bit more meaningful for us. So that is how to use and also by implication or, and how to also use them with an if function in Excel.